Welcome back to Mota Susebo. Today we'll be looking at greetings in Igbo. From our previous conversation, do you remember what you talked about?
We talked about uh, naming and being able to say your name, and also just a basic interaction where you ask your name and then you also respond with your name and query the other person's name as well.
Okay, how do you say your name? If you ask what's your name, how do you respond?
Okay, so if I'm asked what my name is, I'd say Ahamubu Favor, and then I could ask the person their name by saying Kedu Makagi or Gimakwan.
Okay, so how do you start a conversation if you want to ask somebody what's your name?
I'd say Gini Buhahagi.
That's correct. And the person will now reply, Ahambo, and they will insert their name. Okay. So today we'll be looking at greetings, how you greet in Igbo language. So most Igbo greetings are in form of question. Like I said, some things in English don't really translate well to Igbo. So in Igbo, most of their greetings are actually a sort of question. They like conversation, they like to dialogue, they really show they care. They are not just greeting you for greeting's sake, the way you just say good morning and then you go your way. They actually sort of trying to start a dialogue. So the exception would be like Ndewo. Ndewo is a general greeting. You can say it in the morning, you can say it almost every time. Ndewo. Can you say Ndewo?
Ndewo.
Ndewo. You see how it's spelled Ndewo, just like is pronounced just like it's written, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Ndewo. And you know that the O there does not have a dot under.
Mm.
So Ndewo. Say it again.
Ndewo.
Ndewo. So if someone says Ndewo, you respond by saying Ndewo.
Okay.
Another one is Kedo. Kedo means how or how are you, but it just means how. But in English, how is also a greeting. The way they say howdy, how do you do? They just shorten it to howdy or how. So that's
Yeah.
how in Igbo language you have our own version of that, which is Kedo, who is asking you, how are you? So if they ask you Kedo, you typically respond with Adem mma, Adem mma. Can you say that Adem mma?
Adịm mma.
Yeah, Adem Mma means I am good. I am good or I'm fine. Adem Mma. A there means you are talking about yourself. Adem, like I am good. Adem Mma. Mma means good. Mma means good in this context. Mma means good. Okay.
Mhm.
You can also ask you, Kedu ka ị mere? Kedu ka ị mere? How are you doing? Kedu ka ị mere? You see that I with dots under. Kedu ka ị mere? That's asking you, how are you? How are you? And then you respond with, um, how do you respond if they ask you, Kedu ka ị mere?
Adịm mma.
Yes, at the moment means I'm good. So these first three, they are just general greeting to know how somebody is doing, to greet them or say hello. Now, in Igbo, we have we say Ibolachi for good morning or Isalachi. Ibolachi or Isalachi. Okay. Now, all in Igbo means ma obo. So I might be dropping all the same way I dropped and, moving forward, I'll be saying Mobo. You understand? You know what I'm talking about. I'm also saying ma obo.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ebolachi means good morning, and it's like asking you, have you woken up? Like, are you up? It you might think it's stupid because you can see that I'm up, and you're asking me, am I up?
Mm-hmm.
Or you
Redundant.
say Isalachi, right? So, but
What's the actual meaning of the salachi?
Isalachi is also talking about is also asking you if you're woken up, sort of. But it's a dialect, is I think is Oka dialect or so, but it's an Anambra dialect, Isalachi. Okay. So if you're asked Ibolachi, you typically respond by saying Abolam. Say it, Abolam.
Abolam.
Yes, that's how we respond. Ibolachi, you say A. A means yes. A, Abolam. And from there, you now maybe talk about your night and every other thing in between. Okay? So
Okay.
Igbo people, they don't really have word for that translate to good morning or good night. At night, if you want to wish somebody good night, you tell the person kai bochi, kani bochi. That's let's wake up tomorrow. That's why when they see you in the morning, they tell you ebolachi. You understand?
Okay.
So they don't really have good night, like good night or good morning or good afternoon. But the language is evolving and people are trying to bring the English word good morning to Igbo language. That's where you see some words like or phrases like ụtụtụ ọma, ụtụtụ ọma, ehihie ọma, mgbede ọma. Morning in Igbo means ụtụtụ, okay? Morning means ụtụtụ and afternoon means ehihie. Night is abalị or evening is mgbede. So you still hear people say ụtụtụ ọma, but I don't think in any Igbo speaking village they use ụtụtụ ọma, okay? But it's something that is becoming popular among people that are also learning Igbo. So how do you say good morning?
Good morning. I'd say Ibolachi.
Ebolachi. Now, if somebody says kedo, what do you respond?
Adimumma.
What do you now ask the person? How do you ask the person, how about you?
Uh, Kedu ka ị mere? No, that's for me. That's for them asking me still.
You asking, you can ask them, kedo ka ị mere? But if you say, you can also say, kedo ka ede? How about you? Kedo ka ede? How about you?
Okay.
Yeah. So, ndewo is just general. Kedu means how or how are you? You can also use the two together. You can say, ndewo, kedo ka ị mere? Ndewo, kedo. Okay.
Yes, understood.
So how do you say I am good?
I am good. Adimumma.
At the moment. How do you say yes?
A.
A. And if you want to say no, no means mba. If you want to say no, you say mba. Okay.
Mba.
Now, yes, when someone comes back, when someone comes back, you typically the way you say welcome, you can say no, no. Say no.
No.
Yes, no means welcome. You're welcoming somebody. Or you can, like I said, no is maybe just welcome. But a typical Igbo person that wants to start a conversation will not really say no. The person will ask a lotala. That's a form of greeting. A lotala is actually a question asking you, have you returned?
Okay.
Have you returned? And you know, it opens up window for conversation. You say yes, and then from there you start talking about your journey, right? Remember, most Igbo greetings are in form of question. Most of them. There are also exceptions. Ndewo, no. Okay. So how do you ask someone, are you back? Or welcome someone?
Are you back?
Hmm. Or welcome.
Uh, no.
Yes, you can use no. So if you want to use a question form, how do you say
He is Tachala.
no? A
I get the
lotala.
word.
A
Lotala.
lotala. Yes. And remember the A is the one with dot under, just like Kedoka A mere. You will say a lotala. And the person will now respond by saying A alotalam. A alotalam.
E Alotalam.
You remember when you're talking about yourself, you use the a.
Oh,
You say a alotalam. That's you're talking about yourself. A alotalam. Okay.
okay.
Okay. So do you have any questions before we move to the next session?
No, I do not. That's quite clear.
Okay. So thank you.